Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Friday, the 4th of June. Hi, I'm Paul. I'll be your host this morning in the news today. We'll catch up on how the Black Caps are going against England at Lords in the cricket. We've got our first game of the round, week 13 of the NRL, the A-League is coming to the end of the regular season. We've also got NBA playoff action, NBL news, and also Sal's NBL news in the basketball. And we'll catch up on how our Kiwis have been going at Roland Garros in the French Open as well. This is your best way to start a day up with all the important sports news. And I also forgot to mention there that there's rugby news as well. We've had confirmation that due to the COVID travel restrictions, that the Chiefs game against the Rebels will be taking place on Sunday in Sydney, not in Hamilton. So that game, I say, will be over in Sydney, not Hamilton, this Sunday in the Super Rugby Trans-Tasman. It kicks off this evening at 7 o'clock with the with the Crusaders versus the Force at 7 o'clock down there in Christchurch, followed by the Reds versus the Blues as well at 9:45 today. Moving on then to the NRL, and we've had the first game of what is a shortened round, only 4 games this weekend due to the State of Origin happening, and the Dragons thumped the Broncos 52-24. So big win there for the Dragons. Don't forget to join the Standoff Show on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. when they'll go through all of that news, all the NRL news and results. Also in the A-League, Adelaide United fought out a 2-2 draw against Western Sydney Wanderers yesterday. That put an end to the Wellington Phoenix's slim hopes of making the finals. There is now a 4-point gap between Wellington in 7th, Wellington Phoenix in 7th, and Adelaide United in 6th. And with just one game left tonight, when Wellington Phoenix take on Macarthur FC, we now know the 6 teams that will be making the playoffs or the finals of the A-League. That'll be Melbourne City, Sydney FC, Brisbane Roar, Central Coast Mariners, Macarthur FC, and Adelaide United. The order that they finish in still has to be decided with the last round of games. But we know now that those will be the 6 teams that make it into the finals. The Phoenix have their last game against Macarthur FC tonight at 9 o'clock. Moving on to the basketball, and over in the NBA, we now know the teams that have made it through on the Eastern Conference side, with the 76ers beating the Wizards 129-112, meaning that they won their series 4-1. And the Atlanta Hawks beating the Knicks 103-89. They also won their series 4-1. That means over on the East, Philadelphia 76ers will take on the Atlanta Hawks in the conference semifinals, and the Milwaukee Bucks will take on the Brooklyn Nets in the other conference semifinal there. The Atlanta did upset the seedings by they were seeded 5th, whereas New York seeded 4th. Otherwise, the top seeds have gone through so far. Down in the West, we have our first team into the conference semifinals with Utah Jazz beating the Grizzlies 126-110. They've also gone through 4-1 through their series. The Mavericks beat the Clippers 105-100 to take a 3-2 lead in their one. Close, much closer on the Western side than it is on the East, where a lot of things have already been decided. Over in the NBL over in Australia, and we had one game yesterday as the Kings beat the Hawks 79-73 to keep them in the hunt for those playoff places. They're currently in 5th place with the 18 wins, the same as the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix up in 4th. So tight there over in the NBL in Australia. The South NBL round kicked off with the Nelson Giants taking on the Manawatu Jets, or the struggling Manawatu Jets, let's be honest. But Manawatu pulled out an upset here, winning the game 99-98. A real close one there in the Sal's NBL. There were 2 double-doubles for the Giants as Ingram put up 26 points and 10 rebounds, and Hale put up 27 points and 10 rebounds. But that wasn't enough as Bizant scored 30 points for the Jets, and Daniels put 21 points up and got 15 rebounds for a double-double as well, to see the Manawatu Jets home in only their 2nd win of the season. So fantastic one, a fantastic result there for the Manawatu Jets on the road. Moving on then to the tennis, and over in Roland Garros, the French Open, our Kiwis have been in action in the men's double. Daniel, with his partner from Austria, Oswald, beat Feskovis and Tretovinga there 6-3, 6-3 to go through to the 2nd round, where they'll take on Arnedo and Pierre. Also in action was Venus with his Australian partner Piers, up against the French pairing, wildcard pairing of Bonzi and Hong. They came through 4-6, 6-2, 6-4 in that one, taking on Haas and Struff in the 2nd round there. The big news of the night, though, also just briefly, over in the PGA, the Memorial Tournament is live at the moment. Danny Lee is in action there, and he was going well after 1 hole. He got a birdie on the first, but scrolling down now, he's now 1 over par after 3 holes in tied 42nd place there. So early days, but a bit of struggle going on in that one. Also, we have the 2nd women's major of the season at the US Women's Open, one of the biggest events of the season. Obviously, the first round there is live at the moment. And Garvey is currently 1 over par after 13 holes. She's tied at 26th place in this one. Just scrolling down to find Lydia Ko's, how she's going, but it looks like she hasn't teed off yet in the first round. So she's got one of the later tee times. So she will be teeing off at 8:51 a.m. I think that's our time. So still got in about just under 2 hours time, she'll be starting her first round at the Women's US Open. Moving on then to cricket, and Devon Conway scored his a double century on debut. He was the last man out, getting run out there whilst partnering with Wagner. New Zealand were going very, very well at 288 for 4 when Henry Nichols got out for 61. But a collapse there saw Watling go for 1, de Grom home for a duck, Santner for a duck, Carl Jameson for 9, and Southey for 8, as those 5 batsmen put on just 18 runs there, seeing New Zealand collapse from, or mini collapse from 288 for 4 to 338 for 9. in that one, in that collapse there. Neil Wagner put on a cameo, 25 off 21 balls, or 25 not out off 21 balls there, with Devon Conway, as New Zealand reached 378 all out on the second day. New Zealand had England in all sorts of trouble, getting bowling out Silby for a duck, and Zach Crawley for just 2, reducing England to 2 for 18. Roy Burns and Joe Root, though, put on a partnership to start to rescue things for England. Roy Burns is currently on 59 not out, and Joe Root on 42 not out, as they have reached 111 for 2. So New Zealand lead by 267 runs currently, but were in a strong position there to make to put up an even bigger total. Apart from that middle lower order collapse there, unfortunately for them, England have lost already 2 wickets. If New Zealand can get amongst the wickets early on day 3, they could get themselves in a good position there. You have now started the day the best way with all the important sports news. Hope you're heading into a wonderful weekend, folks. We're nearly there. It's a long Queen's birthday weekend, so I hope you've got some wonderful things lined up.